And we begin on the Daily Nation in Kenya this morning. It says there, the deal that saved Matangi, it says, revealed 4 days after a meeting between three MPs and President William Ruto brokered a ceasefire. The Directorate of Public Prosecutions yesterday declared former Cabinet Secretary a free man, saying he had no case to answer. You can find out more on pages 6 and 7 of the Daily Nation. New KPA boss pledges to put workers first, and also Azimio senators plots to paralyze business. Sitting on wealth, survey shows 970 minerals across the country. Kenya is literally sitting on immense underground wealth of some 970 minerals, which have been classified as potential prospects for further exploration. That's on page 10. And of course, it's explaining the minerals celtan, graphite, iron, manganese, and copper. Interesting there. Near tragedy, she choked on her engagement ring.
What? He probably put the engagement ring inside ice cream or food. Is that not a sign that you are not supposed to go on with that marriage?
I was going to say that.
I was going to say
that. That's a sign. This marriage will kill you.
The marriage will choke you.
Yes, it will.
Just like Davido said.
Yes, it will. All right, these are the stories on the Daily Nation this morning. And moving away from Kenya, let's go to Namibia and see what's going on.
All right, on the front page of the Namibian newspaper, Itula hits back at Nandi Ndaitwa. We also, it's a very light front page here. Amupanda eyes president's job. Public enterprises to return 2.6 billion Namibian dollars as dividends. At the top of the paper, we have Kara's man guilty of petrol attack murder. Female entrepreneur trains youth with disabilities worthy of celebration, especially because it's International Women's Month and we're highlighting the work that women are doing, as well as the challenges that women have to face whilst doing the work that they do. Tambula boy explains viral video. That's all that we can take this morning on the front page of Namibian. Let's move over from the south to the west of the continent.
All right, on this day, newspapers in Nigeria, CBN directs commercial banks to accept and pay out old 500 and 1,000 naira notes. Apex Bank needs no presidential directive to comply with Supreme Court order, says president.
Wow, that's a revelation.
That's interesting.
Because for the past week, everybody had been waiting for the Apex Court to speak up.
It insists the president has never done anything to obstruct course of justice. I have a theory about this, but I'm going to keep it to myself. NLC gives federal government 7-day ultimatum to end currency scarcity, threatens strike. I have another theory about the NLC, but I'll keep it to myself. Emefiele debunks fake news, denies alleged plot against Tinubu.
You haven't thought about this, but
no,
you keep it to yourself.
No, that one nah. Falana says Nigeria's political class do not want democracy to survive on page 12. And also presidency, February 25th presidential poll better than past elections in Nigeria, says only losers disputing outcome of crisis or exercise, I beg your pardon, declares outcome strengthens electoral integrity or electoral act's integrity.
Then why have the foreign observers complained about this? Why have we had reported cases of lots of Nigerians sharing the inconsistencies with the results? I mean, just like, I don't think the result is what is being challenged as much as the process with which this result was attained. Just like the presidential candidate of the Labour Party had said, a lot of the complaint that people are expressing is the fact that, one, they had been disenfranchised in a lot of parts. You're the one who put these electoral laws in place that says you must be uploaded right after a collation. It wasn't uploaded in real time. So how do you put all these things together and then say that it was better than past elections? I think that's subject to argument.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on the analysis that he's using, to rate past elections, because we've also had terrible elections in the past, right? So, he might be speaking from his own, bird's eye, his own perspective, with regards to past elections. Everyone has their own, individual views, and of course, these days we have more social media. We're able to capture more of the electoral crimes that are being committed compared to in 1999 or even earlier.
Yes.
So that's, one of the things that must be, be stated also. President-elect Bola Tinubu says, I have no preferred candidates for 10th National Assembly leadership. APC charges lawmakers to elect to ensure victory in Saturday's elections. And it says here, we hope to win minimum of 30 states, says Senator Musa. These are the stories on the This Day newspapers.
All right, let's still look within the nation, Nigeria. On the front page of the Nation newspaper, CBN okays 1,000 naira, 500 naira old note after Buhari's rebuke. President says, I never asked Emefiele Malemi to flout Supreme Court judgment. The CBN has no reason not to comply with court orders on the excuse of waiting for directives from the president. February 25th poll, Nigeria's best ever, says President. NBA, election okay by 92% of Nigerians. And this is very interesting. APC to decide zoning of National Assembly offices after elections. We have some other stories at the top. ADP, NNPP, ZLP, 6 others endorse Sanwo-Olu. Lagos Airport runway shut for repairs. Flights won't be affected, so not to worry about that. The flights won't be affected. You just would not, be able to use the regular runway. Appeal Court reserves judgment in Adeleke's suit on page 6. High cost affecting manufacturing, says man, on page 11. I don't know why I feel like something's off with this headline and I'm not able to fix it this morning. Anyway, rainstorm destroys 100 houses in Ondo, and why JAMB rescheduled mock UTME. On the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning in Nigeria, we'll be looking at the big story that says, Emefiele finally bows to pressure, says old Naira notes legal tender. CBN directs bank to accept, disburse old 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira, 200 Naira, and redesigned banknotes. Disobeying court order undermines rule of law, constitutional democracy, and this is according to the NBA president. The AGF, CBN governor don't need Buhari's directive to obey Supreme Court, says presidency. And we also have here, Tinubu has no preferred candidates for National Assembly leadership, and this is according to Shetima. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, federal government probes theft in $1.1 billion oil theft. Details are on page 19, or is that page 10? Yeah, page 19 of the Punch newspaper. Nigerians to pay 1,000 Naira NIN fee for passports. What is this? Osagi, you would probably share with me. You know, you are overall best in, going to renew passports and all that. You renew your passport every AK market day. They ask you to pay 1,000 Naira for NIN, because now they say Nigerians will be paying 1,000 Naira for NIN fee. What does this mean?
I don't know. You know, my challenge with the passport is, a lot different from, with renew my passport is a lot different from just the 1,000 Naira NIN.
Just the 1,000 Naira NIN. Imagine that 100,000 people in a week go to get their passports.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
With
it's quite a
1,000
lot.
Naira.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, but I haven't, had to go through that. I haven't, had to pay. I haven't gone to that stage yet. So maybe when I get there.
Have you gone through the hurdle of trying to get your NIN? I remember when I was trying to register, I was unfortunately told that I needed to wait for 8 weeks, and if I wanted it fast tracked, I had to pay an extra money for them to settle some people for it to come out in another 2 weeks.
Pretty much the same thing with renewing your, international passport and all of that.
It's just wild. Anyway, federal government shuts Lagos Airport runway, diverts international flight. Final story this month says, I wasn't part of search for kidney donor, and this is according to Ekwerimadu's wife. In other news, I wasn't involved. But that's all that we can say or take on the Punch newspaper.
All right, now let's go to the Daily Trust newspapers this morning and see what we can find here. It says, old Naira notes legal tender again, says CBN. And we can also find there, violence, 7 states to watch ahead of governorship polls. Also in the Daily Trust newspaper, fire destroys 100 shops and stores in Kano Singa Market. National Assembly leadership, I've not endorsed anyone, says President-elect. And also, we have nothing to hide, INEC chair tells Obi's lawyers. Also this morning, you have no reason to comply you have no reason not to comply with Supreme Court judgment, says President Buhari. Banks struggle to meet customers' needs. Pensioners decry Naira scarcity, say we're in pain. And also Tinubu's re-election, rejection of religious hatred, sectarian politics, says the presidency. And once again, Nigerians to pay 1,000 Naira fee for NIN registration and verification until you get there and they tell you it's 3,000. All right, these are the stories that we can find. I think that are, we can quickly share this morning on the Daily Trust newspapers. And just to also mention, as much as we talk about elections and some of all of that, there's still 11 schoolgirls of FGC Benin Uwari that have been in captivity for 637 days now, that has not made any part of any conversation in Benin Uwari or in the northern part of Nigeria or from the presidency or anywhere. And also one student of Bethel Baptist High School in Kujama, 613 days in captivity.
All right, let's move away from there. We'd head to Tanzania. On the front page of the Citizen newspaper in Tanzania, we can see the big story this morning there, where 3 trillion shillings additional budget funding will go. The 2023-2024 budget framework points to the government's intention to further improve civil servant salaries, with the wage bill expected to increase by more than 1 trillion shillings and up its debt servicing tempo in the next financial year. There's a lot of money talk going on the front page here. Donors pledge 8 billion. Oh, wow. All right. Donors pledge $8 billion as millions face looming hunger in Horn of Africa. That's good news. I'm hoping that this money will be disbursed accordingly and used for what it was disbursed for. Go beyond Call of Duty. Mpango challenges DCs. FC, how to boost infrastructure development. At the top of the paper, we have one story there for Ismat. It all began with a skin condition. And that's talking of Citizen Rising Woman. We'll get to find out what her story is on page 4. And final story, Samia second anniversary impact. President's fresh push on mega projects draws acclaim on page 18. And that's all that we can take this morning on the Citizen newspaper. And let's now head to the Guardian Post in Cameroon.
All right. On the Guardian Post this morning, it's talking about what Biya has not given women in 40 years. It says the head of the president, Paul Biya, infused into the national psyche and Cameroon's political ecosystem the concept of a new deal. It basically meant the dawn of change in every ramification of national life to build a new Cameroon. Anyway, you can find out more on that story on the Guardian Post this morning. And also, Shay Jones says CPDM social gathering for Donga Matung sons and daughters. I'm not sure what that is about. And Minister Mbayu says Cameroon determined to maintain image as peace haven. Celebrated rapper Cole C honors Orange Cameroon at album launch. Not very many stories on the Guardian Post, but these are the ones that we can take at this time. We have more newspapers coming your way tomorrow. Of course, as always, we share with you the latest major stories making headlines across the continent every morning.